Welcome everyone to this Blue Star Careers webinar brought to you by Spouseforce Live. We have an incredible subject to discuss with you guys, and also incredible partner and special guest all the way from the DC area here visiting us to enlighten us with additional discussion about STEM and all the great projects that has been happening here with our local community members that were in the DC area, the national capital, and also involving our milk kids. So, but without further ado, but let me, before I bring him in, I want to remind you, this is Blue Star Careers. I'm Laura Torres, and I encourage you to join our Spouseforce virtual community where you will get exposed to more great segments, live career action taking place, and as well as other employer spotlights and topics where you can, as a military spouse, create your own trajectory and draft your own journey. Make sure that you tell us where you're watching, as well as send us a shout out from your community. We'd love to highlight those towards the end and give you credit, as well as highlight your community, because we love to support our communities across the nation. And then also remind you to like, follow, and subscribe to this particular segment, as well as any other ones to this page where you're watching, whether you're watching us in the national capital region, LinkedIn, YouTube, or our Facebook community. Make sure that you like that page, because that's how you would get notified to let you know when these segments are coming back to you, as well as for you to get involved. So I encourage you to post your questions and comments. Again, we will bring those out towards the end, and we would love to send you more shout outs and acknowledge your support. So without further ado, let me send it over to Julie, and so that she can introduce us to our special guest. Thank you so much for supporting. Julie, how are you? Welcome to Spouseforce Live.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well. So I'm Julie Riggs. I'm the National Capital Region Chapter Director for Blue Star Families. And I'm so happy to have with us today Brittany Greer with Rosie Riveters. Brittany and I have worked together for about a year now to bring Rosie's Riveters' amazing program to our military kids, and specifically our military girls. And So I'm just really excited about this partnership. It is all driven by Boeing and a grant from Boeing. And so we are super excited to talk about it and share with you some of the stuff that's been going on. So I will start, Brittany, if you don't mind, saying hello and just saying, tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe what Rosie Riveters is for those who don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Brittany Greer. I'm the executive director and founder of Rosie Riveters. We're a nonprofit organization that works to engage and inspire preschool through middle school girls in STEM and to equip them with an enduring growth mindset. We offer interactive, hands-on programs that provide girls from diverse backgrounds with a fun space to imagine, learn, create, and play. Our organization's focus is on the joy of STEM, but we also emphasize productive struggle through our programs so that our participants can build their critical thinking and problem-solving skills, and ultimately really their confidence in themselves as they navigate the kind of STEM workforce and fields. And we've been delighted to partner with Blue Star Families. It's been an incredible experience, and I'm excited to share more.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you, Brittany, for being here with us and for enlightening with everything that you guys have been doing. You're going to actually enlighten us in a little bit about everything that you guys have been doing, and we're very grateful for the opportunity. So tell us, just give us an overall update. What has happened since we last met with you and we started this amazing partnership back in early this year?
Yeah, so when we spoke in early January, we were just advertising that we were hiring instructor positions for our program that was launching in the spring. It's amazing how fast timelines run now. When Julie mentioned a year, I was like, whoa, that we've gotten that far. Because essentially through this partnership, we're not only working to engage and inspire girls from preschool through middle school, we're also looking to kind of lean on the incredible expertise of military spouses and bring them in as our instructors and through our program. So when we first launched, we were talking about that. Since then, we have hired 3 amazing military spouses who have trained as Rosie Riveters instructors and delivered our first Blue Star Family Partnership program in the spring, mainly to the DC region, but we had people a little bit further afield because it was virtual. And we have successfully completed that program to kind of, Julie, I think hopefully we reflect this like really great feedback. We had hands-on interactive programs. We sent effectively our response in COVID was that we put everything that you needed to do 4 amazing hands-on STEM projects, and we sent them home to all of our participants. We did a pickup at the USO on the Fort Belvoir base. And then we met every other week virtually in our small group Zoom classes, and built and learned and explored STEM together. We also talked to incredible real women in STEM about their careers and how the things that the girls were doing in our projects were directly applicable to what they could do in a career one day, should they want to. And we watched kind of all those amazing things that I talked about in the opening happening, right? Critical thinking, problem solving, confidence in themselves. And to do that through a computer is a totally different feat than it is in a classroom. But I can honestly say that I think we did it, right? And we had a really great experience with our participants. And we can't wait to see so many more families this fall with our upcoming programs.
Absolutely. It's so incredible that you were able to really engage in a virtual world, especially the little ones. But, you obviously had some pretty cool and really amazing, talented military spouses supporting this particular task, as well as the goal and the mission. And so I think that speaks very highly of our community and how prepared they are to really engage and support great causes. Now, I know that, career success for military spouses, we're always looking for a great way in partnerships where we can get those career opportunities to continue to build our career development. What was that experience like for you working with military spouses? I don't know if in the past you have had that experience, but how was your experience with you this time? I hadn't
previously hired directly military spouses before. I've had this conversation with Julie and yourself. It was phenomenal, and it continues to be phenomenal, right? What we really wanted to do when hiring military spouses was also people who really understood the community that, Blue Star and everybody else has kind of built with people who are in that universe. And with that, we found people who were, ready to jump in and navigate, had their own amazing critical thinking and problem solving skills, right? Because sometimes Zoom doesn't launch and you have to think on your feet and make it work. And navigate, little ones who get frustrated when they can't get something right, and you're not there to kind of go and, give them a rub on the back. God only knows when that happens again. I like to support them through it. And what we saw was just these incredible, resilient women who showed up, and our kids walked away feeling better about themselves by being in their presence. And from interview to delivery of programs, that entire kind of amazing ability just to make it happen, the we can do it spirit that we have with Rosie Riveters, was reflected every step of the way. And we have these 3 incredible new members of our team who we're just delighted to work with.
Fantastic. I love to hear that, because I know, I'm a big champion and cheerleader for our military spouse community, and always looking for incredible opportunities to share. And I know when this came through and it was like, we must find, we have no problem sharing. We will have no problem finding qualified talent. I think the problem will be trying to select, and say no to maybe a few. But I'm glad that this experience was incredible for you, as well as it was for our community. Now, Julie, I'm going to put you on the spot. As a chapter director, what that experience was it like for you to also be able to coordinate great projects for our mill kids?
It was wonderful. It stood out as a really forward-thinking program on sort of like the cutting edge of what we are now, identifying as really important things to bring our young girls into STEM early and repeatedly, so that they build up just a base knowledge and comfort level of those programs, so that they can aspire to careers in that field should they decide, or if not, at least just have that base knowledge throughout whatever career field they go into. And so it was very nice to be on that side of it and have Rosie Riveters as a partner to bring these type of things to my National Capital Region chapter members. I got tons of feedback from parents who were like, "Oh, thank you for these programs. Thank you for doing this. My daughter loves STEM, and it was just, through Boeing's donation, we were able to bring these to our chapter free of charge for the families. It was just an all-around great experience.
Fantastic. I'm glad to hear all of this because, I think it's an all-around community supportive system. We're empowering military spouses to get into careers that are meaningful for them and are complying with their mission, as well as supporting of military kids. So in talking about feedback, I'm going to take this moment to remind our viewers and those who are watching and one of our multiple different communities, whether you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or our Spouseforce community, please post your comments. Tell us where you're watching. Send us a shout out. We love to recognize that you're supporting us as well. And any questions you might have as far as STEM for Brittany, for Julie, or just simply in regards to how to get involved and maybe perhaps support, be an ambassador to STEM projects. So tell us where you're watching. We would love to be able to support you as well by highlighting your comments towards the end. Julie, sending it back to you so that you can ask Brittany some more stuff about the Roshe Riveters.
Sure. Thanks, Laura. So, Brittany, I bet people listening to this and hearing about how wonderful everything is would love to know what's next and how they can get involved in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So Dr. Irene Rodriguez commented, inclusion starts with a union of community. And that's literally the reason why this partnership formed, right? So our purpose as an organization is to partner with community serving organizations so that we can have accessible programs and leverage opportunities where there's community support. And so we're only excited to be expanding those opportunities. So we have registration currently open for a fall program that'll be happening on Fort Belvoir at the USO. It starts in September. So if you want to register for that, the applications are open until August 20th. And then we'll be able to circle back to you on that. So if you're in the DC region and that's a location that works well for you, sign up because we'd love to see you. Secondly, in the spring, we'll be expanding into another location, military location, in the DMV region. So it might be Maryland, it could be, we're talking Fort Meade, we're talking Andrew, we're talking a lot of places, but to be determined of where that location will be. With that opportunity, we'll also be hiring 3 additional instructors, military spouses through that process. So there'll be more information about that in the next couple of months or so as we start that recruitment process. And then additionally, which is pretty exciting, which is kind of just a teaser because I can't announce all the details just yet, we'll be expanding into another partner location for Blue Star families in another state come the spring as well. So there'll be more news on that too. So apologies for the more newses. The good thing is you've got 2 awesome communications channels between Blue Star and Rosie Riveters. So if you like and follow either of us on Facebook, you'll definitely get the updates on that information. But the actionable one at this exact moment is registration for our fall programs at Fort Belvoir. So we look forward to hopefully seeing your kids and yourself there. We also love to have volunteers join us. We are playing it, we have safety protocols in place in relationship to COVID. We do have the opportunity to move the program virtual should the world, make that a requirement for us. But currently we are, actively building out and are excited about the opportunity to offer an in-person program come the fall.
Great,
wow, that's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of information, so, which is always good. But have to take
Yeah, and for sure, you can always, follow and connect with Julie Riggs, our Blue Star Families National Region Chapter Director, connect with their Facebook page as well. And then also follow the Roshe Riveters website where you can find out a little bit more about it. But when it comes to career readiness, career support for military spouses, you definitely want to join Spouseforce, the virtual community, because that's what we're going to share once we start getting ready to support, to highlight employment opportunities for military spouses. We definitely will be supporting Brittany and her team so that we can share with our community and get you ready, get you an application and apply your visibility so that you can help us support these projects. Right, Julie?
Correct. And I just did want to add, Brittany mentioned it, but we are currently looking for volunteers for our fall session who have access to a military installation. That was kind of one of our things that we need to do, is to make sure that we can get our volunteers on post to help during the September and October sessions. So if you're interested in finding out more about the Rosie Riveters STEM program, perhaps want to apply for the upcoming positions that will be opening up in the spring of 2022, now's a great opportunity in fall to come in and volunteer an hour or a couple of hours and learn more about this amazing program.
We're kind of addictive. Once you get in, it's hard to get out. So just forewarning. There's nothing like watching a kid spark, but I just add
talking about addiction and wanting to help and support. Is there any way for volunteers to help virtually? How can virtual volunteers help you out, Brittany or Julie?
So Julie, I'm sure, can speak to a number of the things that the Blue Star chapter is doing. For us, we have a mixture of in-person and virtual programs coming this fall. So if you are looking at, you want to see kind of what we're doing in a virtual format, we also have opportunities there. And so you can visit our website and click the Get Active tab, Get Involved tab, and that will give you information on volunteering with us. So if a virtual volunteer opportunity, if you're further afield, or if an in-person program is just not at your comfort level at this time, you can absolutely sign up there and learn more about our different opportunities coming up in the fall.
Great. The reason I ask is I know last time during spring, prior to spring, I had a few families reach out or spouses reach out and ask if they could volunteer. But they were soon relocating into the DC area this summer. So they wanted to kind of find out a little bit more about the projects and start getting their feet wet a little bit more with the support and the community and everything. And like you said, become addictive to your projects, and then definitely support for the military spouse kids and everything else in the community.
Come on in. We're happy to have you. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, Julie, we mentioned we have the registration open for the fall for the military kids, those who may want to join for the fall season. So just so that everyone doesn't get confused. So this project, it's an all family unit project. So we are helping through careers, support military spouses, get involved in careers, and then you get to be involved and support our male kids through learning with sim projects and work directly with the Roshe Riveters and become an active member of all these great initiatives that are going on. So it's a dual project for everyone, all inclusive in the family. Now, but for the fall registration, if you want to enroll your kids in this particular sessions, Julie, what does that process look like on your end?
Sure. So registration is live now, and it will remain live until the 20th of August at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It is an application process, so it's not a first come, first serve. So we will be taking applications or registrations through that time, at which time then the registration will close and the Rosie Riveters team will make their decision based on certain criteria that are laid out on the application or the registration page. So if you're interested, I know Laura has the form link here. Click on that link. It'll explain the process. We will be hosting approximately 12 young ladies for each session. There are 3 age sessions, so K through 2nd, 3rd through 5th, and 6th through 8th. And then again, each of the groups meets 4 times in person at Fort Belvoir, and the start date is September 18th. I had to think about that one, but I hope that's clear. But so yeah, and we do ask people to be able to attend all 4 live sessions with the workshop, because we don't want to give a space to someone who can only make 1 and then take a space from someone who could make all 4. So we do really ask that you look at the dates on the registration form, make sure that your family can make that commitment to get your child to Fort Belvoir during that time for those 4 Saturdays, and then go from there.
Perfect. Thank you. And Brittany, just so that we get ready to wrap up, and before I bring also some comments, is there anything else going on that you want to highlight, or anything that you want to share about the Roshe Riveters and your team, or any projects?
So I mean, if you have first thing I would say, if you have a middle schooler, 6th through 8th grade, I'd highly recommend that you give us a chance and sign up. We're actively building our own pipeline, and I think registration this time around has been reflective of that through word of mouth. The biggest drop-off point for girls' engagement in STEM is middle school. We lose over 30% by that age group, which is why Rosie Riveters starts at 4, right? Because we engage early. This program is kindergarten, so I should make that caveat. So if you're going, hey, my 4-year-old's in pre-K, this program, just because of COVID, it does start in kindergarten. We do a whole separate program for our pre-Kers, which we'll give you more information on soon enough. But if you've got a middle schooler, please, we encourage you to sign up for that. We encourage everybody to sign up. But it's the kind of thing that, and I can share a quote really quickly, not to take up too much time, but I had, and I won't cite the parent, but they said, my daughter was hesitant to attend the program. We homeschool and she thought it was just another program that her mom was forcing her to do. But when she finished, she burst into the room with a smile and told me about her project and showed me her work. I asked her if she enjoyed herself, and of course she said yes. As a mom, I'm keenly aware that we lose girls' interest in STEM around middle school, and I'm grateful for this opportunity that you all have provided to broaden her horizons and her perception of STEM-related things. So if you got a kid who you think this isn't their thing, I promise you, we can probably make it their thing. Or at least make them feel really good about themselves after having been in the process in the program. And we're very much, we're like a family, right? We build relationships, we empower each other, we build confidence. So come and hang out with us, because it definitely will be worth your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And I mean, you're right. It is, we have to do a little bit of the leading and the cheerleaders for our kids and say, no, just give it a try. Maybe negotiate. Nowadays, kids love to negotiate because they know so much as far as how to get out of certain things. Maybe negotiate and say, if you do it once, this is what would happen. And then they will engage, and they will stay active. And definitely. So I want to take this time to Dr. Irene, who said, love it, keep it inspiring. And then I will also have Kelly all the way from our LinkedIn community, great events. So Inspiring Society of STEM. Yes. So she's sharing additional resources as well. And then, of course, this great quote from Dr. Irene Zuppi. So that thank you so much for supporting and sharing your comments with our community. So anything else, Julie, as we get close to wrap up? We are at time for this segment webinar, but I also want to encourage anybody that might have any questions or watch this replay to continue to post their questions or comments, and I will make sure that we address them or send them over to the Rosie's team.
That's good. Thank you so much for having me today, Laura.
Yeah, same here. We're always happy to be part of the Blue Star family. So, I mean, we just look forward to seeing everybody hope in the fall, and you'll be back and talking about, new hiring opportunities so we can have even more amazing military spouses on the team with us. So we just look forward to growing with our organizations as we work to really engage and inspire girls in STEM and change that 28% of the workforce to way more than that.
Absolutely. Let's change it together. More than 8%. Let's go all the way to 15, by, I don't know, we'll think of a year in the near future, but definitely let's get involved. Again, this is a whole family unit project. Not only we're supporting, and we'll be sharing future career opportunities for military spouses and how you can get involved. So make sure that you are part of our Spouseforce virtual community, or you can go to our website page on careers as well and find out a little bit more how to get involved. But Spouseforce virtual community is where you will find all the latest updates. And so make sure that you're part of it. And then, of course, if you have milk kids, it started early as kindergarten all the way to 12 and 14-year-olds. Get involved, sign up for that full session, which there is the link as well as under the comments, and help us grow this incredible opportunity for our male kids. And then if you're a male spouse looking for unemployment, this will be a great way for you to also get involved. So thank you so much, team, for being here with us today and for enlightening us with all these opportunities, all about STEM projects, and I posted when I shared this link with my network, I said, I wish I would have known. So you have this opportunity to not wish anymore. This is a great place for you to make it happen for your young male kid, as well as make it happen for yourself. Right, Brittany?
Yeah, absolutely. And a big thank you to Boeing for making it all possible. So thank you just to everybody who's been a part of it. It's been an incredible experience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So thank you for watching and your comments, and we'll be more into more details at our Spouseforce virtual community. Thank you so much for your support. Have a great day.